You've inherited the world. A world that has ended. You are a survivor, hailing from countless generations of survivors. You are a tiny speck in an endless battle over what is left of mankind. You are a human. Your enemies are not. They are something else. Something that you cannot understand. Something powerful. They read your mind and eat your thoughts. Their plague covers the land and infests the body. They have come to take this world from you. This dirty world that you inherited. This world that your faceless ancestors lived and died for. The only place you call home. But you won't let go. It is your destiny. It is your patch of land. It is all you have ever known. And there are others like you out there. You need to find them. You need to bring them to your side. Because that is all that matters. Standing united against the enemy. An enemy you know by name. Homo DEGENESIS.
And then you click biscuit here.
Yeah.
And then we're live.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. Hi.
Are we seriously live?
Yeah, we're
I don't
seriously
believe
live. Yeah, we are.
Where's the questions? I don't see anything.
On the left.
Oh, but where's the fucking reactions from the chat
Yeah.
and YouTube?
Okay, you want the chat in YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes,
We need to see all these crazy people.
Here. YouTube here.
All right.
And questions here.
All right. What
Hi.
up?
How are you doing, guys?
We're back.
After a long time of
Cheers. Cheers to that.
being away.
Fucking the nightmare is over. 16 months of this shit.
Yeah, we've done it.
Yeah.
All started like more than a year ago now.
Yeah. I hope you guys had a chance to enjoy the website at this point. Probably not, because all the questions are not website related.
Well, we'll go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since we started talking about this website and about the free-to-play suite.
Yeah, what is it? November 2018?
18. When I last come, when I came here before Christmas, we did the live session and we talked about moving to free-to-play. It raised a lot of questions from everybody. And
yeah, everybody was like, "Oh my God, what are you guys gonna do? Like, nothing's gonna come out anymore."
Yeah, and then we laid low for a long time. Announced a bunch of books,
yeah,
and then we started working on it.
By the way, my son is on the chat. If you guys are mean to him, I'm gonna kill you all.
Hi, Adrian.
Up the volume. So, yeah, we started that journey like a crazy long time ago. Like we wanted to go ahead and go free to play for quite some time, but like it just we didn't have the format to do it. We really needed to go ahead and have the right crew of people gathering and coming together to be able to set all of this in motion. And we found the right web developer for it. Only like 4 months ago?
Yeah.
We did like 2 prototypes before that that didn't go anywhere. That just didn't reach the level of quality that we wanted to have for the release of the free-to-play model, and we knew from the very beginning that it needs to be something more captivating and more mind-blowing than the average website. And that has kept us occupied for quite some time. But if you go back in time, so like how did all of that start? Me and Renard started working on the potential stock for a free DLC back in, what was that, December 2018, I think, right before I went over to continue working on Justician, and then that collaboration was really nice and went really well. And then what happened almost like a month after we released it, we figured we could like do a book together possibly with the rules expansion, which then ended up becoming Artifacts. So I pitched the idea to Renard, and there was the other Artifacts document fan work that was already.
We get mic issue. Give us a second. Let us know.
Just say something.
Volume is at the maximum. We're lowering the gain. Yeah. Can you move to the
biscuit?
No, further right.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We should be good.
We're at max.
That's good. You go back to YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, super good. We're gonna try and speak louder and keep the mic close. But yeah, so we brought Renard to the table. We started talking about making Potential actually a book, and then everything started from that.
Yeah, and at that point in time, we were already running out of Rebirth editions, and we knew we wanted to do a reprint, and then we brought Liam on board.
Yeah.
He came in for a month, worked on the VOV. Back at that point in time, we didn't even know we were going to do a collector's edition.
No, it was just a re-edition.
Exactly, and then like as he started working on it, we kind of like put our thoughts together, and wanted to see that product be elevated to a much higher quality standard. And then that came along, and then we worked on that, and then we worked on Justician, which kind of happened in the meantime, and then I went back to Artifacts, and then Artifacts was kind of coming close to finale. And then what happened next? Next was like, oh yeah, we had like the SMV.com release.
Yeah.
Riot announced Legends of Runeterra, which after that went into open beta for quite some time. So we had to like do the new SMV website next to everything, do that big release. And then once that was over, then we went back to prototype number 2.
We're already in prototype number 2 at this point.
Yeah, and that just didn't go anywhere, and we just like didn't feel like this was the right construct for the big release. And then we tanked everything early December, found a new group of programmers, which are
big thumbs up to them. Spazek Studio,
fucking fantastic guys.
These guys, amazing.
They came back to us with like the best website concept ever, and that was the moment where we realized, okay, now it's playtime. And then from January 7th until literally Monday, April 13th, we worked nonstop on the website just to get it out of the way.
Constant work. To me it was a pretty amazing experience to arrive right at the beginning of all of this and to push through it and deliver what is one of the best projects we've produced in a very
yeah.
long
time.
time.
I'm seriously highly convinced that this is the future of DEGENESIS. It's a full digitalization of the world. It allows for constant updates. It allows for mass uploads for really big phase 2 and phase 3 releases. It allows for a complete decontextualization of the idea of, okay, you need to understand the entire game first before you understand what's going on, but it actually moves it back towards the narrative of the world building. It allows for, focus updates, which is awesome. We can go through cultures, we can go through cults, we can expand different regions that we wouldn't normally be able to expand because we don't have any books planned for those. So, for example, when somebody comes along and is complaining, oh, why don't we get some new stuff on Hibrispania, then we can do a focus month on Hibrispania. Upload new illustrations, upload new content, new writing, feature cities, upload maps, etc., and really expand the lore in one certain direction. And then the next month we can swing around full on and move to Africa, for example.
Or people can barely hear us. So it's weird because every volume element is at the maximum we can. So that's very, very strange. We're trying to get everything. But the thing is, the mic is a shotgun, so if I move it towards Marco, you won't hear me. We're gonna try. We're gonna do whatever we can. Okay, if it's better, it's better.
So we could jump around between different cultures, basically, and do a focused spotlight on a certain region. Then we can move it back to a certain cult that hasn't been featured enough, and really explore that. So it really gives us the ability to like expand on the lore and the narrative of the universe in a way, in a fashion that we've never been able to do before. Because always before that, we were bound to, okay, like somebody needs to conceptualize a book, sit down and write it cover to cover, which is an enormous amount of effort.
And it only relies on one person doing all the work.
Exactly, because like it's not like we have like 10 authors sitting around here that can work on that. And then that person also needs to visualize it. So I need to write the art briefs for it. I need to do the conceptual sketches for it. I need to direct the artists that are connected to the book to be able to, produce it, which is just an enormous amount of effort.
It's time consuming. It's nerve-wracking. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and at the same time, you need to keep the community occupied. You need to keep everybody on the hype train, which is, as much fun as it can be, it's also a time-consuming factor. Like you don't get to enjoy everything or enjoy the creative process of things because you're like constantly running around trying to like keep people entertained. Because if you don't say anything,
people suddenly are like, "Are you still alive? Are you still working on
this?"
Yeah.
Is the project tanked? Is it can we ever expect something? And then if you actually go ahead and keep them updated, then it's just time off of your commitment.
Yeah. But yeah, to go back, for me, going back to the very beginning of the project was very clear immediately that we wanted to focus on making sure everything would decontextualize from the RPG aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And that everything could be enjoyed by anyone, whatever your background is, whatever your kind of hobby is. You can be into narrative stuff and you enjoy the website because there are so many different stories from so many different point of views that you can actually just sit around, browse, and lose yourself in
the thing about RPGs is that they have a certain snottiness to them. Like if you're an RPG gamer, you belong to an elite group of people, and
super tiny niche.
And it's a very tiny niche. So, and like, most people are like that are not exposed to RPGs. They have no fucking connection to it whatsoever. They're like, what is this about? Like, how do I get into this? So for me, the most important part is like killing that barrier. Yeah. I don't want us to be elitist towards anyone concerning the world building or the narrative or the story that we're trying to tell. This should be something that is enjoyable for everyone. No matter if they want to just read a story on the way to work in the subway or on the bus, or if they want to read something interesting or like look up something interesting connected to the lore while they're almost falling asleep in bed. Those aspects are like really important for me. So like the website gives like this entire broad range of possibilities on how to explore those things in a completely decontextualized manner. Like Youngblood, for example, is the best example of like, hey, here's a story about 3 Spitalian kids that grow up together. And if you know nothing about the world of the Genesis, you can still like dive into it. You can enjoy it.
Get your information.
Yeah.
In the same way the character actually get the information by talking and.
Exactly. You reveal piece by piece of the lore and the background of the world by having like these really strong narrative stories that lead you into the landscape of the Genesis. And that's like for me personally the biggest achievement of the website, because the website offers that much more room. It also frees me up for the first time that I can actually work wherever I want. I can go into.
We've been to Bulgaria. We've made new story for Poland, for the Balkan. Everybody gets their new stories.
Yeah, but not only that, not only that we can go to any place in the world with the Genesis, but I can actually be in the real world in any place whatsoever. and just update the website. I'm not bound to sitting in my office anymore for endless hours
5 months.
trying to work off a new source book cover to cover. That's just gone, So that's really the biggest progress that the game has made or the world has made on a grander scale.
All right. So, I mean, we've talked a lot about the website, which has been like an amazing project. We also worked a lot on artifacts, which for the first time brought other people to the table.
Yeah.
We've worked with different, let's say, freelancers,
Yeah.
outsourcers that were able to bring their own expertise to the table.
I mean, for me, like one of the best experiences out of all of this has been Liam. Of course, he's been the first editor that we hired on the project, and somebody who has overseen the production of English material for over a year and a half now, almost. And he's been an absolute gem to work with. It's almost unfortunate that we don't have him here. Like, greetings to Liam and to Scotland. I really hope you're doing good. I wish COVID-19 would have not kept you from us in this little live stream. But yeah, like Artifacts was a first exploration into finding a way to add new material to DEGENESIS with outside authors. I would say it was successful, but it is still a stumbling block. It's still nothing that I could say, okay, we can sign off easily, because the lore part is such an essential, integral part of the world. So there needs to be somebody who's overseeing it constantly. In the long run, I think it's going to be successful. I really think it's a good book. But it had too much heavy involvement from my end, which led to delays on other books that I could have finished by now, on Justician mainly. But in general, I think there was a good way to branch out and try new things and see where we can take them as a publishing house, as a company. See what it can add to the world overall if we're having other people's input in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've not been very involved except for the last stretch, and I remember it was very enjoyable to see the book go from a very tiny draft. Suddenly it becomes its own section with all those new mechanics that are.
I mean, what did we plan? We planned on doing a 28-page booklet.
At the very beginning,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
suddenly it exploded, and it was like, well, wait, we have to actually make the tenfold, because.
Yeah, and the more we added, the more I had to get involved, because it still needed to function as an add-on to the world of DEGENESIS. We will never publish a book that is not driven by narrative, or by diving deep into the lore. So that aspect needed to be done by me, or guided by me, at least to a certain extent. And Liam was a highly successful guy to join us in that prospect, because he was really familiar with the universe, and he was really eager to help out. So I really enjoyed working with him over the course of the last couple of months, and he's a good guy to have on the team. He's one of the soldiers of the little IP department that we've built over the last couple of years.
Yeah, having him around and helping on all the fronts has been just a gigantic pleasure for everyone. Not just us, but also the guys downstairs. Everybody loves Liam. He's been amazing during this entire time. So big thumbs up to him. Please give him some love. Yeah,
we love the Liam.
We love the Liam. So we're gonna go through some of the questions you guys asked before, and we're gonna see where it leads us. Of course, if you have other questions, please go to Discord, discord.gg/DEGENESIS. Ask the questions there, and we will gather there for us. Flesh Disc, hi Simon, ask, we saw a list of 15 points you want to reveal. How many did we already get? I think everything.
Yeah, everything is on the everything is on the website. And also Simon is an awesome guy. He wrote Provider together with Liam. It's one of the most played community adventures. I really like the guy. He's been an old timer on the Discord. I've known
Facebook as well.
Known him from way back in the day. super supportive and everything. Like, really, if you have the time, check out his adventure. It's a good starter introduction into the Genesis. So
and it's fan made. So
yeah,
big thumbs
but
up.
Simon, we already revealed everything. Like, if you go through the website, you can find pretty much all the things that we didn't announce.
I don't have the list anymore, but basically it was
so it's shirts, it's art prints, it's the VOV,
wallpapers,
it's
audio files,
wallpapers, audio files,
website, artifacts. I mean, I've forgotten everything. Subliminal messages. I don't even have the list anymore, but it was like really 15
yeah. Anybody who's like taken any time browsing on the website must have found like all this shit by now. So like it's Troika.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it goes from official books to website tiny elements that we were very proud about. The subliminal messages, for example, is one of the best stuff we've come up with. We're super excited to share it.
Which is really funny because nobody has ever mentioned them since the launch. Like it's like it completely passed people's perception.
Exactly.
It's really funny.
But it also goes on the tiny stuff like the wallpapers. We're super excited to finally share wallpapers that are completely made for mobile or desktop. We are very, very hyped by this, so we wanted to make like this long list of stuff we were ready to share, and everything has been revealed. There's no more secrets to get from us on this aspect of the project.
I think somebody wanted to see the VOV. Ashen wanted to see the VOV.
Okay,
like, let's do like a really quick intermission of the VOV so people know what we're talking about.
So do you want to introduce what VOV is?
No.
No. So this is what we call VOV. So this is Vincit Omnia Veritas. It's a collector box of everything. Feedback is back. Okay, give me a second. I don't know.
Jesus.
Audio engineer. So VOV, amazing box, black with gold leaf. It's amazing. It looks good. Let me open it.
Give me the thing.
So inside you have amazing messages. All of this on a good quality black paper with amazing golden leaf. We get some art prints. This one is made by Elisa Ivanova. Sorry, thank you very much to her for participating in this amazing adventure. This is from our in-house
Genius,
our tiny robot.
Tiny, he's not tiny, he's pretty big.
A lot of love to Chris Kintner, it's been amazing. He's the one behind Gestation and most of the illustrations you guys will discover on the website. He's been amazing. This guy is just incredible. Then we have this amazing GM screen. So the inside is as you know it, but the outside is an amazing soft touch quality texture with again the same golden leaf. And then we get the map.
Just lift it up like this.
Yeah, but it's not put properly.
Oh, okay. Then let's unfold.
The map.
Let's unfold.
Unfolding.
Unfolding.
And here's
Papa.
the new map. Ta-da-da-da. So yeah, same. We tried very hard to find the proper material to show the map.
Dude, we spent 3 months. 3 months just finding the right material to print all of this on.
Also,
like people don't know like how much work went into just finding the actual the actual right material to print all of this on. So I'm super proud of getting this done. Look at the loser in me. Like I cannot roll a trigger to save my life. Like literally, what is this? 12 dice in like 1/6.
And the books, you know them, you've played with them, you've opened them, but never like this. You see it?
Can I just open one of them?
Come on.
I mean, we printed like just for you guys. We printed like the first pages in gold, which is absolutely ridiculous. Cost us an arm and a leg.
It's like all of this is really in gold.
And it's dedicated to you, to the fans. Can you believe it?
For all of you guys.
All the fans got a dedication at once. It's the best thing ever.
And then the box itself is just a tiny piece of art. It's amazing. You have information and new stuff everywhere. I would like to say a big thank you to Jerzy, who's been working with Marco and I on this. He's helped us find the material, design the box. So a lot of love to this man. He's hidden somewhere behind the camera.
Yeah. He doesn't like to be seen.
But he's there.
Also, you're wearing the new merch. You're wearing the new swag.
I have some swag on me, some swag on my back.
Wonderful. You can start modeling for the whole.
Yeah, I mean, if someone wants to hire me, sometime soon I'm probably gonna leave 6 More Vodka, so please come. No, seriously, it's been amazing to create these products. I've seen a lot of questions about what we wanted to produce next. We'll talk about that later. But we have other stuff that we want to do.
Yeah.
A lot of other stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that we want to do. Like, let's maybe just touch up on a few of the questions that came up in the.
Vince, this is size M. I'm tiny. Marco needs like XXL, so it fits him, I think.
Yeah, but like it's also because like you. Okay, so here's the secret.
Look at it.
Here's the secret.
Look at
I
us.
found out something, and I cannot believe it. You can feed Erwan anything, and he just burns it away. Like he eats 6,000 calories a day, and there's nothing that sticks to his body. Like I've never seen somebody eat like this. Like I eat 1,500, and I get fat. But like this guy is just amazing. Like anything he ingests, he just shits out right away. Somebody explain this to me. Like I'm working out hard just to like fucking not get fat, and this guy just sits there.
And I can. I mean,
And he can't gain weight.
Look at us. Look side by side. It looks like just like a giant and a tiny guy.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so what can we talk about? Do we want to talk about some other questions?
Yeah, please. I mean, let's go through them.
Okay, let's move this a little bit so I can actually read the question. Not that you accomplished such an incredible feat of pushing this high quality setting and game to the world. What gives you the most satisfaction at this stage? Looking back after the big reveal and website launch, what are you the most proud of?
That we made it.
I mean, yeah, it's been such a marathon to me at least, from me joining the company
In September.
In September, discovering everything. I mean, not discovering DEGENESIS, but discovering how working at SMV is, and going through all the stages of actually immediately being onboarded on so many different projects, taking ownership on this project, leading them to where they are now. All of this has been just amazing for me.
Don't cry.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I told you I'm not gonna cry. It's been amazing for me, and I'm very proud that we actually managed to push the website to the stage it is right now.
I'm just proud that I met you. I'm proud that you were in charge of this. I think like I could have not, with the skills that I have and with the time that I have, just pulled this off the way we pulled it off. I think this was a combination of both of our strengths, and I'm glad that Corona got us into a situation where we had to work together
and listen to the same songs.
And listen to the same songs for like literally like
300,
what 7 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
So I all my favorite music now, and
what you don't like as well.
Exactly, and you can abuse it. Like you can like literally mimetically influence my emotions.
Yeah, I mean it's been an amazing time. Super proud of being here. Super proud of pushing all these. I don't even know.
I'm just happy that Genesis is alive. I'm happy that it has its new iteration. I'm happy that the game world is expanding, that the community is expanding, that we have such a great armada of fans that is out there helping us, supporting us, pushing us to keep on creating like the best possible product on the market. Like, because that's something that I don't want to ever hide behind, but it's obvious. This game world and the products connected to it, I mean, there's nothing like that out there, and I think that's something to like take pride in.
Yeah. There's another question from Alma. what was your favorite aspect in porting the game to the website, and where do you see room for using the new medium to enhance the experience of the Genesis?
Let me just say something first. I love that our entire SMV team is on the YouTube chat. Like,
all of you,
like
you've been...
literally, if you want to ever call out some people, call out our SMV art crew because they totally deserve it. What is the question again?
So what is the favorite aspect for us from porting the game to the website, and where do we see room for using the new medium to enhance the experience?
I mean, the biggest experience is the fact that we have unlimited publication options.
Yeah.
Like, we can publish anything from the smallest article to the longest story.
Yeah.
We can expand on a story over many, many pages, over many, many months without ever having to think about like, what does it look like in a book format?
Yeah.
The book format is as beautiful as it is. It's also incredibly restrictive because like you have to work with an A4 sheet, and it somehow needs to like have a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
It needs to be layouted, etc. Like, but with this website, we just can explore as deep as we want to.
The best example is Chernobyl.
Yeah.
The Chernobyl piece to me is, I remember the first time you showed us the sketch,
Mhm.
and we tried it immediately in the layout of the website,
Yeah.
and we were blown away, Liam, Marco, and I, by it fitted because you have the reveal.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's-
So like the way the stories are set up now is they combine the opening image and the text in an art form that we have never seen before or
enclosed.
been able to reproduce in print before. So that's the magic of the website. So like that's something to like take absolute pride in.
Yeah, and again, big props to Spazek Studio for finding this way of dealing with the specific requests we had, because from the very beginning we wanted to make sure that stories had a proper opener. It was very important from the very beginning, and we tried very hard to keep that in the design. But these guys, they managed to make it so perfect that it would be seamless for everyone to just open a story and immediately be immersed in the opener. So
Speaking of which, like, because I just saw it on the chat, Vince mentioned Steffen. Steffen is, of course, the best map maker out there. We could have not done the world map on
him.
DEGENESIS.com
Yeah.
without him. So props to him. Props for being an awesome partner in the past.
We can say it. You're going to see more of his work.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
website.
I mean, like, not only in Justician because he's doing the map, he's done the map pack for us.
But other stuff.
Yeah.
We can say we've already recruited him to do more stuff with
Yep.
us in the future. So you're going to see more of his work. Again, Stefan, thank you very much, because working on your map on the website has been almost painless. It's
Mhm.
like perfect. So thank you very much. What else can we talk about? Ashen said, I like the way you write stories. I'm sure other people agree with me. Will we have the pleasure of reading a Through the Genesis novel one day?
I mean, do you really want to put me through more pain than I have to?
I don't know if I want to have you like writing something for years and a half. But
I don't know. Like, writing is actually more easy. Like, I would be more frustrated about having to paint all of that.
yeah, but we can't talk when you're writing.
Exactly. But like, now I can write wherever I want. So like, it doesn't really matter. But of course, I mean, if you look at the website, the way it's structured right now, all the short stories, they're in a sense building up towards like accumulating into a larger
Yeah.
story. Like, what people don't realize right now, because the website has only been out for 2 days,
Yeah.
is how many of the stories are actually already connected or hint towards each other.
Mhm.
Because there will be overlap. Like, the way I've set it up and the way I've plotted it out is that certain characters will meet other characters, and there will be connections between these characters, and it's already hinted at in the text
Yeah.
or in the place where the story is being told. Or in the time frame where the story is being told, people have just not been able to like
To start
compute the different dots. But like, I think once the first follow-up stories are being
Mhm.
published, like the light bulbs are gonna go up, and people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? I didn't see this before."
I think we can actually talk about the way we're going to release new stuff.
Yeah.
Because we never addressed it outside of the
Yeah.
FAQ. So the way we've planned this, and we have almost a year of the Genesis planned out of this
No,
one.
first off, the year we planned this is we're taking vacation for the next 10 days, and we don't want to have anything to do with the Genesis for 10 more days.
Please.
Please, please. I just don't want to hear about this fucking thing anymore for
You
like
have-
10 days at
You
least.
have people you can go harass. Pablo, Ashen, Vince, Liam,
Yeah.
all of these guys.
You
they
can
take-
write to my son if you want to. Like, he's probably going to be a better person to ask about anything DEGENESIS related than me. But like in 10 days, we're going to come back.
Yeah, and we're going to do the first release.
Yeah, then we're going to
So-
start like seeding stuff.
So the way we see this is we're going to do weekly updates with new stories, new probably galleries, new elements each week. So you always have something new to come up to. We'll see how you guys react to it, but we have a lot already planned out. We know where we want to go.
Yeah.
Marco has the story ready. We just want to see what you guys think about that and adapt on it. But we're super ready. And even for what we call phase 2 and phase 3, we already have a lot in mind. We're already starting working on this with the developers. And all of this is, we got this under control.
Yeah, we have it mapped out for a full year. So that's the biggest beauty of it. Like we really know where we're going with this. What will be interesting is to see what you guys respond to. As a community, like of course, like you guys need to give us feedback if we're doing something right or if we're doing something wrong, if something is interesting or if something is not interesting. But what we can already share, every time you find the mention in the subtitle of any story that it's a part or part 1 of something, that means that story is going to continue. And we already have the groundwork for that laid out. So we're going to be able to like push and publish those stories out into the open, see how people respond to it. Because this is what it comes down to. Like one thing that we realized in the production of this website was, hey, we got a universe to explore. It's a whole universe. It's a fully fleshed out world, and the characters are functioning. They're living human beings. They live their lives. So we need to be able to have a chance to spotlight them, bring them into the foreground, and as we unveil more and more about them, more and more of the world is actually becoming clear.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to add. It's that's how we've been working on this for a long time.
I mean, the only difference to the Marvel universe is that once somebody actually dies,
They die forever.
They die. I'm sorry. Like Vicarin is not coming back. I'm sorry. As much as I
mean,
would
some
like
other
to.
characters are already back. You know it, right?
Yeah.
You know it.
I mean, everybody that has been asking for, hey, what's up with Alabaster, will get a big release in May. So stuff's happening.
So what are the other questions? Paler plushes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We want to do it.
So here's what happened. Like when we started working on the website, we called Adrian up, who was our old production designer, head of production, and we asked him to come to the studio because we wanted to pitch the whole thing with him. And he left SMV like almost a year and a half ago because he just wanted to like have some time off after Black Atlantic, wanted to recover. He had like some physical issues and everything. And then he came into the office and we showed him everything that we've done.
And
he was like, fuck, I'm healed. I'm healed. I want to come back. I just want to work with you guys.
Is there a desk for me?
Exactly. So like literally like the last 2 months he's been coming in and out of the office and he spearheaded like all the merch production that you can see in the background. Everything that is up on display over here is like all his work, and he wants to do more merch for. Is it better? Is it better? Is it better?
Is it better, guys? Is it popcorn time again? Let us know.
Just talk to
Okay, it's better. All right. So yeah.
Yeah. So he came back, and he basically like spearheaded production for all the merch.
Yeah.
And he's exploring all the chances and all the options that we have to really meander out into a lot of different directions, which is also like one of the things that we wanted to do. Like we wanted to give more options for people to support us. We have a very small community,
but they're so dedicated.
They're so dedicated. This community can do so much more than just buy a book. They can buy merch, they can buy art prints, they can support us with donations. That is something that we want to salvage to like keep the energy going, keep the project going, expand into it. And so like, yeah, of course, we're going to explore way more merch from this point forward. This is just the beginning. This is the first collection.
This is limited.
Yeah.
We do it once. Once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want them, You know what to do.
So, like, I just need to explain this. So, Adrian and I, we talked a lot about this. What we wanted to do is highly limited merch, very small print runs, but much higher quality than the average bullshit that you can buy from every other publisher out there. So, none of these shirts are like,
I mean, I can't even tell you how soft this shirt
stupidly made. Like we went for the best materials. We went for the best printing methods.
It's fair trade, organic. It's everything you would expect from the best brands outside.
Yeah.
Again, everything is super high quality.
So we're gonna offer them. They're gonna be up for a limited amount of time. They're only gonna be available in a limited print run.
Yeah.
Once they're sold off, the next T-shirts come. So we have like all kinds of collections set up for that. We're gonna keep rolling out as stuff sells off.
Yeah. Also, we're open to any ideas of merch you guys
Yeah.
would have. So please let us know whether it is on Discord or info@sixmorevodka.com. Please contact us. Let us know what you guys would like to see. Because obviously there's
Somebody's saying, I love this company. Somebody watching teleshopping. I love it.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. What did you expect? I mean, come on.
So today we have this amazing Bernadette shirt for everybody like Liam that love to be burned. Thank you very much.
Come on, just buy it and we don't have to advertise it. It's that easy.
No, yeah, of course. As I was saying, if you want something, just let us know. We can try everything. We want to try caps, we can try stickers, pins. Just let us know and we will try it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Can you scroll a bit? What kind of fan art do you enjoy the most?
Good one.
I mean, from
I mean, like, as long as it's good, it's good. I like all kinds of fan art that is good. If it's well made, if you can tell that somebody spent some time on it, then it's amazing. Like, if it's just cheap, zero effort fan art, it's like forgettable. Sorry.
Martin is asking, are the dice coming in French? Let's see. Baguette. Yes, they are. Thank you very much. What else? Did the website ID came at the same time as the free-to-play model? Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, it was like we said, November 2018 when we met. That was actually one of the reasons we talked about in the Q&A a year and a half ago. It was a long discussion between Marco and I, and Marco was thinking about that for a long time already. And we were trying to see...
I always wanted to go free-to-play. I always felt like free-to-play was like the future. I really think we're in a point in time where people want to have the choice what creators they're supporting and how much money they're paying towards them, and not being confronted with a finished product that just asks money for them. They want to have a choice. And I really support that idea, and I really think that is the future of RPG gaming. Give it to the people for free. Let them decide how much they want to leave. If they want to leave anything, if it's a good product, like, they're probably going to leave something.
Yeah.
If they want to support the creators, they're going to leave their donations, they're going to buy the products. But at least be open about it. Like, lay all your cards out. Because, like, this is the thing. SMV doesn't have to fucking hide behind a wall. Like, we're not, like, fucking trying to shill you a project that is, like, cheap production value. The stuff is through the roof.
It's like almost 2,000 pages with 7+ arts.
Yeah.
Piece of arts. It's like, come on, you get your own reasons to.
You get everything for free. You decide if you want to support that or not. We cannot offer more entertainment than we're offering with the team we have.
No, and also it's very important to realize that the former business model was not working for several reasons. It takes so long to produce a book that you actually just gas out at some point. And when you have to go to another book, you're just exhausted. Now we're just super excited because we say, okay, we're done with this story. Let's jump to another one.
Yeah.
We want to produce this specific content on this specific location. Let's just do it. We want to hire some specific people to do explorations on specific cults. Let's just do it. We can explore whatever we want.
Exactly. For anyone who has ever done proper content, the commitment to finishing the content is the most exhausting part of the project. So sometimes you're going to be locked in for a year before anybody gets to read it.
Yeah.
So why not break that pattern and, like, bring it down to a more adaptable deadline where it's like, okay, this is a week of work. Like, we commit a week, we spread it, we seed it, people like it, they can use it, and we keep the ball rolling. Yeah, exactly. And that is a much more feasible way of creating the Genesis content in the long run. We've done the big books. Now we have to focus on the small parts and add everywhere. Yeah. And the website really gives us the opportunity to like really expand it left and right.
I want to give like a big shout out to all the guys at SMV, because what you guys don't realize is that at the very beginning of the COVID situation here in Berlin, we asked them to help us out to produce pieces for the website. And most of what you can see on the website, or most of the new art you can see on the website, has been produced during those 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks, and we created 90 pieces. Like the team created 90 pieces of art. Jesus fucking Christ!
Those guys. I mean, imagine, and it feeds the website entirely, holistically. I always like to say, every part of the website got improved. Those that were already strong, like the Spitalians or Borka, didn't have to be touched. But for all those that were a bit lacking, we could hire those guys so they would be improving on what were weak. And
Balkan, Jehammedans, Apocalyptics, Jesus Christ,
Scorchers, Anubians. Yeah, everybody got their fair share of.
We didn't manage in the 2 weeks that we had. Like we had like just a 2 week time window. We didn't have the chance to cover everything, but we covered a lot. We made so much ground. So we made every culture more interesting. We made every cult more interesting. Yeah. That's like a big achievement for me personally. Just from a standpoint of like, hey, we're trying to like sell you this world. So how do we sell it as complete as possible? And then we kind of like turn it around within 2 weeks. So bravo.
Yeah, big bravo to all of them. I've seen a lot of questions about what's going on with Africa. Are we going to get a book? So no, we're not going to publish a book right away. What we want to do is just focus on publishing new stuff that are consistent with our editorial direction. And Africa is a bit weak at the moment. We know it, but we're going to improve on that. We're going to fit it with more new content.
If you look at the culture section of the website or the cult section of the website, there's room for improving all of this. Yeah. Even the Spitalians, man, like there's room for improving the Spitalians. But that's what the website is for now. Like we're going to be like going like into each cult and into each culture step by step and slowly expanding it. So the lore grows, the art grows, people have much more content to play with, much more stuff to dive into. Yeah. And that's really the trajectory for the entire online release.
Yeah, you're going to have more concepts to give you an idea of what it actually like to be a Jamadan or to be an African clanner. Everything is going to be covered, just takes time, but we have it mapped out. Don't freak out. We got it under control. Mm-hmm. Can you scroll a bit on the question?
Yeah, sure.
How do you see the Genesis 5 years from now? Best case scenario. I actually have a lot of ideas of what we could be doing in 5 years. The way we got all the things planned out.
Well, you're the visionary. I'm the traditionalist.
Oh, come on, you're the creator. You're the creator.
No, you tell me. Come on. What does it look like?
In 5 years from now, the website has grown so much that it's
its own entity.
Yeah, it's like so big that everybody is talking about it in the way that it's the best reference for how you build an IP, but also how you reference stuff online. We want it to be bigger than an encyclopedia. It's going to be interactive. You're going to be able to see how the characters are connected to each other in a different way that icons work at the moment. You're going to be able to use the website to actually immediately play online without relying on someone else's tabletop provider. You're going to be able to manage your campaigns. You will have audio files more than you can expect. We want to improve on all these aspects. And for me, in 5 years from now, seeing what we've been able to pull out in a year, I think this being
but it's not even a year. Like the website, the current build is three and a half months. 3.5 months. So 5 years from now. 5 years from now, this is going to be it's going to be like sinking into the most complete and most complex world of RPGs out there, and I think people are going to choke on the material. It's going to take people like years to wade through everything if they're like onboarding in 2024 or 25.
It's like we really want to make DEGENESIS a very big IP, but an IP that actually makes sense for a lot of different types of people.
Yeah.
As much as we love the RPG players, and God that we love you. I mean, I'm a player and a GM in the core, but we love you so much. We also want to try and touch other kind of people that are just here for the art, or people that are so into narratively driven stories.
Yeah.
That's what we want to try and expand. The world map is a start to give all of you GM whatever you need to play, but we want to give those people who are more into cinematic stuff, well, what they ask for.
Even when you look at it like from a fan perspective, you want to give the fan that wants to build his own world the tools to create his own world. You want to drive him like to a point where he can compartmentalize like what it means to create your own shit. And there's like so many sections on the DEGENESIS.com like drive you towards that very goal. Like here's something to think about when it comes to signature characters. Here's something to think about when it comes to do-it-yourself stuff. Here's something to think about when it comes to like the grander scape of like explaining the world and then granulating it down to many different small sites.
Ashen wants you to speak French.
Me?
How do you carton your pantalon?
Je suis une pomme de terre.
I mean, actually, Marco speaks French pretty correctly. Sometimes it amazes me.
My pronunciation is great, but my understanding of it is like zero.
Just no meaning.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that I'm the chevalier de fromage.
This guy is just amazing. He makes me laugh all day long. Let's go back to the question. When
Accent aigu, please.
What do we have? When supporting SMV, we have a choice to make about what we want to see in the future. Book, world, icon, interactivity. What do you have in mind for the interactivity?
Well, that's a big part of phase 3.
Yeah.
We want to expand the entire interactive landscape of the DEGENESIS.com to a point where you have full control over your profile, where you have full control over where your character is placed on the world map, where you have full control over like a certain area maybe on the world map that you and your players control, that you can wage war over with other players in sort of a battle map, in sort of a competition. Like we're really excited about everything that we're gonna like start working on in phase 3. So interactivity is like a big thing for us. We think the merger of, hey, I'm building a character here that I could use at the table, but I'm also building a character here that I can plant into this world and make that character exist on a hex somewhere on the world map. That's like the most. It fights for something. It fights for resources. It fights for land. It fights for whatever else there is to be able to fight on the grander scape of things. That's like the most important or like interesting part of the interactivity stuff. Another thing, interactivity, of course, when we launch modus operandi, that
it's
project,
super complicated to explain. Like
that project has eaten our brain because we always wanted it to be more than just a book, like not something that we present on a silver plate where you read up on what Gitrell ate for breakfast in the morning, but something where you have like multiple puzzle pieces that you need to solve and arrange into the bigger picture of it all. And that is like what we want to drive on an interactive level. You're like entering a maze, and the way you come out on the other side is a transformation of yourself.
That's actually super interesting because a lot of question we saw was what's going on with modus operandi. So what we can say, it's not a book anymore. We don't want modus operandi to be a book because the way it would be as a book would be super boring. Or at least it would not be on the level of what we can do now with the website and what we envision for that. We know it's
something that it's going to attract all senses. We know we want it from the beginning. We want to attract like the visual senses, the audio senses. We want to like make it feel different than a book. So we really need to explore what that interactivity feels like. It's almost like a game of uncovering the puzzle of the people who killed the world. So like you cannot just like put that into a book format and expect everybody to be happy about it. Like we have a really high standard towards what we want to do with that particular project. So the website is actually helping us to make that dream come true.
Is it popcorning again?
Like, Erwan had to pull out his mic out of his garage.
Is it better?
Is it better?
Can you tell us if it is better?
Is it better? Give me the fucking sign that it's better.
Yes, a bit of pomme de terre, please. We're good. It's good now? Super, guys. Amazing. Can we go on more questions? Scroll a bit?
Yeah.
Let's scroll. Scroll. Okay. Are there transcripts of the audio? I have a hearing impaired player. Some people in the community made transcripts.
Yeah.
I guess there will be more for all the audios. For Rebirth and Jackal's Prophecy, of course, they exist as stories, so you can absolutely read them. I know some people ask if it was possible to download the MP3 files. It is. When you're on the website and you have the audio player, you have the 3 dots, click them and you can click download. They're all available for free. Please use them, broadcast them to whoever you want. We do want you to use them and enjoy them. What forms of media content would you like to incorporate into the website to expand the game and universe?
Everything.
We've thought about animation, audio files, everything.
And I mean, we're working with so many partners on the outside, like the guys who did the audio files. They're an amazing studio from Hamburg. All the speakers that we hired for it, they're international voice actors. We already have like the next bunch of audio files in production. So like stuff is going on. People just don't know about it. We're gonna keep on updating whatever comes your way. We wanna layer this as deep as we can. Like, so expect like don't be surprised if you wake up one morning and there is a full Borka soundtrack for you guys ready for download.
Can we give some thumbs up to Kranzler's voice? Come on.
Of course, Kranzler, man, Eric Hansen, he's been like there since the Sacrifice Everything trailer. He's one of my favorite voice actors. He's an awesome guy to work with. Like, I really want to work with him more. I have a very awesome piece for Justician that is out of Kranzler's diary that I want him to read. It's about like fucking shooting somebody in the head. I'm not gonna say who it is, but like it is one of the major diary reveals from Justician. So yeah, of course we're gonna work with him much more. We revealed GG. Wow. What a fucking voice actor.
Can we talk a bit about how it was to produce those 3 audio files?
It's four, and we produced them like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, we did the recording, and then our sound designer Christopher, in Die Stube, this is what the name of the sound design studio is. He basically mixed everything. He wrote the songs for Rebirth, for Prophecy of the Jackal, and for You, and composed everything together just so we have it in time for the launch of the website. Insanity. Like, we've been working with such high-end professionals outside of the SMV realm. So I'm super excited about like what's coming next.
We will keep doing it. Like, really, the experience of working with those professionals has been so good.
Yeah. And here's the thing, guys, you have the best chance to contribute to this. The more you donate towards a certain aspect of the website, the more you're going to see from that. If you want more multimedia, donate to more multimedia. That's the only way for us to gauge if you really want to have more multimedia. Like, we're going to do whatever we have to do to make more multimedia, but we need to see the donations coming in towards that particular part of the website. So don't be shy. Give us your credit card information. Let us take all the money.
Give the money.
Give it.
Give the money.
Give it to us, and we're going to be happy.
Trust us.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else? They have no choice. Like,
otherwise, DEGENESIS is gonna die in a year, and everybody will be sad.
No, come on. Like, we've done the best thing we can with the money available.
Yeah.
And we own everybody. So what the fuck? Just like pay some money back to us, and we're gonna keep on rolling.
Kranzler's voice actor name is Eric Hansen.
Eric Hansen.
DEGENESIS, it's clearly a massive lot of work. How difficult was to stay faithful to the IP ID? I wonder, there were ideas that you wouldn't love to include but didn't fit. In those cases, how do you go about deciding what to risk? I don't understand the question, sorry. Very sorry. I donate through the website just so you can get a proper mic. Thank you very much. Will we have more videos on the YouTube channel like you or Rebirth? Yes, that's part of what we're talking about. We definitely, that's what we want to do. We want to offer you guys a transmedia experience. It's not just a website, it's not just the books, it's audio, it's video, it's interactivity in a gaming form. It's
because that's what the Genesis is. It's like on a very human level. It's like everything. It's everything. It's like it's a story about children. It's a music piece here. It's a world map there. You have so much to like really explore into it. But all of that is fleshed out. It's not like we don't throw garbage at you. Like we don't go ahead and like we just create something just for the sake of creating something. But what we're doing is like we're really thinking about like what is the grander scope of things? Like how does it fit into the bigger picture of everything? And you can join us on that journey, and you can really show your support with your donations or with your shop items that you put into your cart. But like what matters to us the most is, hey, we want to make this big. We want to like go as far as we can and bring this to a point where it's like an absolute unique experience.
Do we get the Genesis cookbook? You said all the senses. Yes, if you want one, we can find someone that is an expert in cooking human flesh. No problem. We can do that.
What is this Gaga question?
Any plans for VTT maps and tokens? We have bigger plans for VTT, aka Virtual Tabletop, than just maps and tokens. That's going to be part of phase 2 or 3. We don't know yet, but we have huge plans. That's something we're super excited about. Do you plan to do a quick start guide for new players? No.
No.
I mean, so the reason we don't want to do that is because we want to focus on other stuff. At this point,
but like we're both thinking very strongly about the quick starter thing, and I think it's there's no reason to hide behind anything. People who are demanding a quick starter are people who would never ever commit to DEGENESIS as a wholesome experience. They want something for in between their lunch break and their evening dinner. And that's not what DEGENESIS is, and we're not going to support it. We're just not going to support it. It's not our cup of tea. It's not how we want the story of DEGENESIS to be translated to other people. If you can't commit to the IP, at least to the point where you can read it, where you can indulge in all the material that is available, you cannot come to the creators and ask them to produce a quick starter for you so you can wipe your ass with something. That is absolutely, that's a complete no-go for us. We don't like this attitude. If you want to commit to DEGENESIS, commit to DEGENESIS. Just fucking read the stuff that is available for free. But don't come to us and ask us to distill it down to a 45-page booklet for you so you feel better about yourself because you don't have to waste any time about it. Fuck that. It's not it's never gonna happen. Never.
And what I would like to add on top of that is that the way we've produced DEGENESIS now with the website and everything gives you the best introduction to what DEGENESIS is. Also, the community is so dedicated that I'm pretty sure that you're going to see more beginning adventures in the future that you've seen in the past. Those guys are batshit crazy. We've seen what they're capable of doing, so we want to focus on what's coming next, not what you can do to get into the universe from an RPG perspective. We have other stuff in mind, and you guys can take care of introducing new people to that with a proper adventure to do it. Will we put the books and web in other languages? So, of course, you can imagine with the amount of content we have on the website, translating that to other languages, whether it is French, German, Spanish, Italian, I don't know.
Which is impossible. It's just the two of us.
Yeah.
I mean, who is supposed to quality control that? That is, we're happy that we have one language that we can distribute to everyone. We're sorry, but there's really no way to produce it for any other language localization.
We would love to localize. I mean, we would really love. I would not love something more than that. But it's just the effort that go into translating books and website into a different language is huge. It's really, really huge. At this point, it's probably better that we focus on English, and when DEGENESIS become big enough, people will be interested into localizing it. And then we will support it. With the entirety of our soul, we will support it. But it's it's very, very complicated for us at the moment to do it.
Yeah.
And we know that the German community feels very strongly about that, and I think you wanted to talk about it a bit.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about the German community for a second, because, like, of course, like the majority of the heat came from a lot of German players and GMs who didn't see an announcement for an English version or for a German version of Justician when we announced the website. But all of that comes down to the fact that I'm the only guy that is speaking German on the team, and every time we're doing anything for DEGENESIS, anytime we want to publish anything, the idea or the concept that I have to do everything in German first, then translate it before I can put it into production is just ludicrous. So what does that mean? When I go ahead and I write a paragraph on Text Central, for example, for Justician, I need to then go ahead and translate that into English so everybody on the team understands what is going on.
Yeah.
Like, out of 22 people that work at SMV, I'm the only German-speaking guy. The only reason why we have even done German books in the past was out of nostalgia, because that's how the project started, but not because it was in any sort of way paying off or in any sort of way. Can you stop this? Like, you're bringing me out of concept.
No,
like,
I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm also...
like, there is a love for the German community. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like some of the very old school people who have joined DEGENESIS in its very early stages, but like, the game has never sold. There is no German community to speak of that is relevant in any sort of way. We know that the majority of support is coming from France right now, and it has been like that for the past 4 years almost.
Yeah.
We're barely selling any other products into the German market, be it merchandise, art prints, whatever else we do. We're like sitting on thousands of books,
literally
unsold.
We could build a house with the German books.
As much as we want to see the German community prosper, like, the longer we have looked at it, the more we saw that there's, like, simply on a grander scale, there's no support to justify any sort of production, except for some sort of nostalgia that I personally have with the book having come out in German.
Yeah.
And then, like, the tipping point happened when we started working on the website, where I started to write the stories in English for the first time, and we saw how fast we were banging through materials, because nobody had to wait for me to write it in German first and then translate it, then proofread it 2 times, and then hand it out to anyone. But we had, like, the material ready in English.
Yeah.
And we could distribute it to everybody on the team. So every artist could read what was going on, you could read what was going on, et cetera, et cetera. And then you came to me and you were like, well, what are we gonna do? Like the only reason why we should be doing German in the first place would be just to please a very small group of, like, 60, 70, 80 people that are, like, the most hardcore committed fans out there. Great, I love to have you on board, don't get me wrong, but like you don't justify a print run. There's no way that we can afford to put all that work into a German edition if that German edition is actually slowing down the entire production pipeline.
I mean, we can talk about how fast it's been since you started working in Justician in English.
Yeah,
the switch has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like, what happened? Like, you talked to me like 2 months ago, and you were like, please just switch over.
Yeah. So the reason I did that was because I saw Marco work on the website, and I saw Marco write stories immediately in English, and the process was so fast that I could not understand why it took so long for him to come with everything he needed for Justician. And so we had this long discussion after work where we discussed, like, why keep to the German? And I mean, I don't have anything against German people, but we need to understand that the community is broader than just a specific language. And because I come from the French community, and we have people from Italy and Spain, and people in the US and Latin America, and all these people don't speak German, so it doesn't make sense to start the game from the German version. For all of these reasons, the community is broader than that. So we want to start with English, and then we localize where it makes sense. we need a lot of support to actually see, okay, it's worth it to invest that much time and energy and money in this specific language. For a long time, we've been wondering why is the French community so active, and the French community keeps supporting even when it's in English, even when the game is not in their language. They keep supporting because that's
It's ridiculous, actually. Like it's been like we've been watching it for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
75% of all sales went to France.
Same for the donation.
90% of all the donations came from France.
It's just insane.
The German community comes in and complains about like, hey, we would be ready to pay more for the books, but like we gave you the option to pay for other things. Like we gave you the option to pay for merch and show your face, and we gave you the option to like pay for art prints and show the face.
Popcorn is back. Let us know. Is the popcorn?
Is it good now?
I'm so sorry. I will change the mic. Give the money. I'll change the mic.
Sorry.
Is it good? Popcorn mic. Yerji, is it good? No. Not yet? Yeah. Okay, super cool. So yeah, we're talking about the fact that the German community expects a lot, and we do want to deliver the best quality possible, but we can't do it in German first. So we're doing.
And it's also, I mean, it's a complete suicide commando for me personally. Like I can't be writing 600 pages of Justitian in German, then sit down with Liam, translate everything into English.
Make sure it's good.
Make sure it's good on both languages. That's 1,200 pages of a production cycle that also needs to be relayouted and made sure like it's ready for print. It's double the work for Yerji.
Yeah.
Every edition he needs to trap by himself. It's just such an enormous effort for the production value that we have, and it's not justifiable through the sales. If it was justifiable through the sales, if we would see any sort of like development in the sales, but no, we see declining sales for like 7 years in a row. As much as I love the people who have been like sticking to DEGENESIS for the last 7 years, you're in the minority. Like in Germany, you're like we're talking about 60, 70 people. We're not talking about even 200 people. It's too little for me to break my ass over in the grander scope of things.
On another topic, so Gunsmile, we love you, girl. We really, really, really love you. I mean, I can't even start expressing how much we're happy with everything you've done in the past few months.
Where's the second part of your fucking videos?
Yeah, where? Please. I know we have a podcast to do, but please, video.
I mean, he's like your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Gunsmile, he's your biggest fan. I hear about you like 24/7. How awesome you are. You chatted with Ervan last night, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's so happy.
Come on.
He tells me like, oh man, you're working on this, you're working on that. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Like what?
And then suddenly she delivers.
Yeah, she delivers. You did a good job, but where's the second part? Like, where's the second part? Like, it cannot be like this.
Yeah, come on.
It cannot end here.
Gunsmile, first YouTube channel on the Genesis, please. So to answer your question, you talk a lot about how the community can help spread the word of the Genesis and contribute to getting new players involved. How do you want to do that?
Like that.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody can help us, be it by just sharing the link, creating new stuff, do whatever you're good at. If you're good at painting, paint. If you're good at writing stuff, write stuff, share it. Shield the fuck out of your body and your soul.
It's not even shilling anymore because we're not selling anything.
Yeah, just do whatever you can. We will support every single initiative to promote the Genesis. If you want your work to be supported, you can either publish it on social network with #DEGENESIS, and it will appear on the community wall, or you can send us an email, again, info@6morepodcast. Send us an email, and if you want our support, or if you want us to share it on our platforms, please mention us, send us an email. We do fucking love seeing your work. There is nothing that makes...
I mean, that's why we built the community wall, right? I mean,
yeah, the community wall is the main...
The community wall gives you all the options and all the chances to like post yourself and see you pop up on thegenesis.com.
Yeah, and we support all kind of initiatives. Now that you have the do-it-yourself stuff, you have all the logos. If you need to make a live stream, you have everything you need. If you need to make audio files, well, you have everything you need as well. You have all the type of references you could need. we're behind you. We will always be behind you, and we will always support what you do. There is nothing that makes us prouder than coming on the start of the day and see new stuff that you guys have created. It really makes our day.
Yeah.
Especially when it's memes.
Yeah.
Memes are the best.
Yeah,
and
like, Ashen is the best.
Big thumbs up to Ashen. This guy, he managed to make us go through the long desert run of the COVID situation. The quarantine would have been so much worse if it was not for ABBA, Apocalyptica, and Ashen, the 3 big A.
Yeah.
We have the 3 big C in the Genesis, but the 3 big A are those ones.
Yeah.
So big thumbs up to you guys. Will it be possible to centralize fan-made stuff, campaign, etc. on the website or anywhere? So the thing that's complicated with hosting fan-made stuff is that we don't know how you guys worked, and we don't know how well you respected every resource you have, and we want to avoid hosting stuff that are not made in the way we would like it to be.
I mean, we need to just like respect copyright. I think that's the most important part. And as long as we don't pay for it, and there's no contractual transference of material into our hands, there's no way that I see us hosting fan material work outside of the wall. The wall is like right now is your best possible way to produce stuff and get seen, or you post it on our Discord. But like we cannot, we're a professional publisher. We cannot just like take your work without there being a contractual agreement between us and publish it on our site, because that's just gonna lead to fallouts in the long run. And I want to stay away from those fallouts as much as I can. I don't need more drama in my life.
Yeah, I think. So for a long time there was the cluster, DEGENESIS-cluster.com. It was an amazing initiative, but I don't know if it's still online. I think this is the best the community can expect. And if you guys want to centralize everything, find someone in the community that is good in development and just build a new website, something that can host all the stuff the community has to build. Again, we will completely support that. As soon as something like that is ready, we can post it on the community wall.
Yeah, we can link to it, but like we don't necessarily will be able to integrate it into the world of the Genesis. That's just not going to be possible.
We really need to separate what is done by the fan and what we do, because as a company, it's very dangerous waters.
Yeah.
We want to avoid that.
Yeah. What else do we have?
Send more questions. You can go back up. I think we skipped a lot. Send more questions. If everything we said brought you more interrogations, please send. We're still here.
Oh, you and your interrogations.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah, more interrogation. Interrogate me.
If you have any more questions, just post them right now. If they're not boring.
There's my little sister in the chat, Nolwenn. This is my little sister.
Hey, Nolwenn.
Love you. I love you so much. And here is for you, a little sip. No, so yeah, we've been working a lot. I mean, I can't even start saying how grateful I am for all the amazing adventures we've been through over these long months. I mean, is there anything else to add? Is there anything we can actually say about the tarot deck? Can we talk about the tarot deck?
I mean, we could talk about it. Like, I always loved the idea of doing the tarot deck. My biggest problem has been that I don't know what the art direction of it should be. I've been thinking about it from several different angles. I've been thinking about an in-world tarot deck, which is drawn by Apocalyptics, which will obviously not be as interesting to people who are looking just for the art side of things. And I've been thinking about like a fully art-related tarot deck of the Genesis for people who collect art, but that is not useful for the in-game stuff, because it like breaks the immersion. And on top of that, what it also does is it just costs a lot of time. So like I've not come to a conclusion yet. I've done a lot of exploration internally on it, but like I've not come to a conclusion yet. But I know what the tarot deck needs to be. Like we developed it a while back. And we know that there is a game functionality and a game mechanic to it.
I remember
we like the game mechanic, but we don't know what the art is supposed to be yet.
Have you ever thought of attending convention and running a PG session there?
No.
It's too complicated. As we mentioned,
dude, we're two people.
It's like if one of us go, well, half of DEGENESIS production is off.
I mean, if you were an Incubus,
I could
you could
duplicate.
you could
I could just duplicate.
You could just duplicate until your trauma runs out to zero, and,
Yeah,
and,
but
you know.
I'm not an Incubus.
But no, it's impossible. Like, if you want content, that means we need to sit at our desk and create content.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go. It's just too little people. Like, we have, like, our team is like 5 people strong. It's you, me mostly on content.
Yeah.
Content, writing, art. You mostly on production. So, like,
it
keeping
means website, producing the books, the merch.
keeping everything, like, all the threads together. Then we have Jerzy, who's like in final print proof and layout, helping me out with all the layouted material. We have Chris, who's supporting me on the art, and we have Liam supporting me on the writing. So it's too little people. Like, it's too little people to, like, make anything. We're so dependent on having, like, a really big community to, like, hype this shit. We can't do this ourselves. So it's just impossible.
Hi, Mom. I love you.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Yeah, and the thing is, we do rely a lot on other people outside of the company. I've seen some question about, do we know about Agile? The problem is not we don't know about Agile method. It's just we want to rely on people we can trust on producing content for us. Art is a strong aspect of this, but writing is also a strong aspect. And we can't just ask people to write about DEGENESIS and write stories in the DEGENESIS universe, voice, tone, everything. It's so complicated to get.
I don't even know
right.
what this is about. Like, what is this about?
Because some people were saying you could hire more people to work with you on these aspects, but the thing is, it's so complicated to find people who are actually capable of doing DEGENESIS stuff with the quality threshold.
I mean, it's impossible. It's pretty much impossible. Like, we still have to wait for quite some time before we have, like, those community talents, like, pop up, that we can, like, pluck out and be like, oh yeah, let's integrate you into the greater scope of things. That's gonna take some time.
Modeling 3D miniatures and having STL files for download. I mean, so this question is very specific, but it's not something we're gonna do because we don't have time and expertise for that. We don't have any 3D artists in here. But if anybody in the community is devoted enough to start doing miniatures, go for it.
Just go for it.
Go for it. We will always support. Again,
we're not going to stand in your way.
We
do it yourself. Just don't steal other people's miniatures. And this is, like, really the only thing that it comes down to. Everything you do by yourself is going to get supported. Everything you steal is not going to get support.
And
it's that simple.
As long as it's non-commercial, we support it. We, like, entirely. We will always support you guys.
Don't steal other people's textures, art, models, writing. Just don't. Just don't. It's just cheap. It's the biggest form of infamy. Even the judges would kill you right away.
Is there anything else we really want to talk about?
I don't know. Is there anything? I think we're done.
I mean, there are some more questions at the top.
Okay, come on. Last questions.
To get the books or T-shirts signed. So VOV is never gonna get signed because the way is getting shipped to us is just perfect, and we don't want to open it to sign all the books.
Because it's shrink wrapped within the protective box, and that would mean we would have to cut up the box,
sign it,
like literally ruin it with our fingers, sign it, then shrink wrap it again, and then send it your way. It's just impossible. It's not something that's not something that we want to do. We can sign anything else, shirts, art prints, whatever you want to fucking buy. Like, please help yourself. Like, the shop is full with stuff.
If you want to buy a shirt and you want it signed, just put a comment in your email or send an email after ordering. We will do it. We'll take the time to do it if you need. Say who you want it signed by, and we will do it.
Hello, are you afraid that...
Non, maman, la vodka est pas meilleure que ton caramel, désolé. Can we donate exclusively to Vodki? We can make more Vodki or 6 more Vodki.
I mean, we can add as many subcategories as you wanna donate to. But, like, listen up, donate first before you ask for subcategories. Like, we got like 15 donations by now. So please,
a bit more, but
or 20, 25. It's like, but like when we're at 250, Like we can start like diversifying so everybody's happy. Okay.
What about Christian? Is he still included somehow? We keep in touch with him.
What Christian are like?
Gunter.
Yeah, he actually texted me this morning about like how awesome the website is. He's not writing for DEGENESIS anymore since what 2014. He does his own shit. He's a programmer now. I love the guy. I think he's one of the best designers in the world. I loved creating that world with him. I always will respect him, but I also respect that he doesn't want to work on it right now. So it's not his fucking cup of tea. If he ever wants to come back, I'll take him back with a kiss on the cheek.
How is the IVE game jam going? It's been a pretty week. Pretty weak. I really hope.
What is like 3 submissions from?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can still go for it. We're not gonna close it right now, but please enjoy it. Maybe let's say what day are we? We're like 15, 16. Let's say in a month we're closing it.
Yeah.
In a month we're closing the IVE game jam, and you guys have all the freedom to create.
So I see a question pop up several times in the chat, and that is, let me ask you about Orkin. Hey, here's the thing.
We're in the Genesis.
No, it's not about the Genesis. The new website and the new business model is the blueprint for everything that we want to do.
Yeah.
If this blueprint succeeds,
we're gonna do it more.
We're gonna apply it to everything else. So make that blueprint work, and then we can talk about anything else. We have enough work lined up to like fill you up with stories till the end of your time, but we need to see that the blueprint works.
Yeah.
And that can only work if you're active in the community, if you're active on the donations, if you support us with sales, and then everything else is going to turn into, hopefully something better.
What else can we talk about? I mean, so yeah, let's say we have like 10 more minutes, and then we're going to conclude.
Mm-hmm.
But personally, what I would like to say is I would really, really, really want to thank the community for...
Noise again. You do your noise.
I do my noise. I want to thank the community for all the time, for all the great mood you guys have been standing our way. You've been supporting us for Mike issue is okay. Mike is better. Is it better? Please let me know. Is it better? Sorry. I promise I will. Okay, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So yeah, what I wanted to say is, I wanted to thank everybody for the amazing amount of support you've been sending our way during the development of both the website, Artifacts, VOV. We would not have been able to go through that without you guys. Literally, when we started thinking about, okay, it's the last month of production, COVID struck, and it meant that our crush time would be just Marco and I together at work. And the Discord community has been amazing. And by amazing, I mean you guys made me want to wake up every day and come to work, because I knew I would see a bunch of familiar faces supporting us, and that means a lot to us. The other part of that is I'm super grateful for being part of this amazing journey. Joining Six More Vodka after all the fan experience that I had has been super cool. I talked about that a lot in the previous weeks and months, but as a fan, to join Six More Vodka, become producer here, start working on the Genesis, and produce this amazing content is more than I could ever ask for. And I praise all the gods every day for
He's
that.
so hyped.
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I mean, like, come on. I'm working with my favorite human being every day.
What, your personal author? He's sitting in the room next to you.
Exactly.
And ask him to write whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I need more content for Justician. I have like two players, maybe 3 to feed now. So, but no, like really, working here is amazing. Working with Marco is the best experience I've had in my entire life. This human being is amazing. Is really good. Is super cool. he makes me laugh every day, and we're a good development team. We're going to do places, and if you guys keep supporting us, I mean, I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Erwan is like the most committed guy to this project that I ever met, and he's like so committed to quality and so committed to love and development of this game. So like, if you don't like me, just at least like him.
Come on.
Pay him, because he eats a lot, and you know, I just don't want to pay for him for the rest of my life. That's my only goal. I just really don't. I already have a son. I don't need another one.
Come on, you already adopted me.
No, I didn't adopt you. Come on, stop it. So support him, support us, support the project. We'll do our best to make it happen. Anything you can do, just throw it our way.
Yeah.
We'll take it all, even if it's $1. And we're thankful for everything, and we'll keep you posted.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for all the love you've been sending our way during these awful times of quarantine. We will keep on.
Wasn't that awful? Come
I mean,
on.
for us it was good. For you it was bad, but for us it was cool.
Yeah,
Like
for us it was cool.
It meant nobody at the studio.
Yeah.
Music blasting every day on repeat.
I
was
like
perfect.
it. I like it. I just like that way of working. It's like, it's so punk rock. It's like so garage band, and I like it goes back to the roots of where the Genesis came from.
Two people
doing
their shit.
Just two people doing their shit, and that's the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. So let's keep the ball rolling. Now we're in a much more fortunate situation that we have the eyes of the whole world on us, and we have an international community to feed. So
thank you guys so much.
Let's do that both ways.
Thank you so much. Keep donating, keep supporting, shield the fuck out of that on the internet, and
shield the fuck out of like something that's for free. Like, I don't know how that works.
Share it everywhere you can go, and we will see you on Discord. Please join the Discord community. It's the best place in the world. You have Ashen memes. This is the best. And see you in 10 days for the first update. Bye bye, guys.
Love you guys.